Minister, for coming in and taking this a very important debate. And I know the issue of Patsy Kelly has been raised already, and I think it is just one of the many legacy issues. And these, when they're referred to as legacy issues, these are still murders. They're just uninvestigated murders in many cases. And a historical inquiries team which was set up to investigate many of these really should be murder inquiries. And we saw recently, with the decision by the British government to only prosecute one of those paratroopers involved in Bloody Sunday, that it is quite amazing that the British justice system could convict the Birmingham 6, the Guildford 4 and the Maguire 7 with no evidence, and yet with 14 dead bodies is unable to convict paratroopers who were involved in Bloody Sunday. And I, along with my colleagues here, were up in Belfast for the Ballymurphy inquest. Again, it's amazing that an inquest would take so long to be carried out after people were murdered, and yet we will no doubt see a similar farcical display of alleged British justice when it comes to prosecutions in that case. Prosecutions for murders in Northern Ireland seems to depend on whether or not you are wearing a British uniform. And what we also see in the other legacy issues and other issues, and this is a request from the Loyalist side, is that the Taoiseach would support the family of Raymond McCord and that they would not be seen to be partisan in relation to who they seek justice for, because there are people who were murdered in the Loyalist community as well. And Raymond McCord wants the Taoiseach and yourself to look for a full independent public inquiry into the murder of Raymond McCord, who was killed on the instructions of a paid informer of the RUC Special Branch. And this was done under Operation Ballast, which was a huge inquiry by Nuala alone and the Police Ombuds Office. And what they found was that there was widespread collusion, as we all know, in the UVF and the UDA with the British Security Services and the RUC Special Branch, and that went all the way up to the top. And when we are looking for an inquiry into the murder of Pat Finucane, we should also look for public inquiries into the likes of Raymond McCord's murder, who it's quite clear he was murdered. There's a dead body. Everybody knows who the instructions were carried out by. People know who carried out the murders, and yet nothing is happening. The justice is being denied to both communities all the time by a system that seems to be incapable of addressing the most fundamental right of any family who has lost a loved one, is that they would get justice, they would get the truth. And yet the truth is being denied, as we see in the case of Patsy Kelly, where evidence has only been uncovered in the last number of years, has been denied and withheld from families to ensure that justice didn't come out. So what we need from the Irish government is to ensure that the ones that we are all familiar with, the Ballymurphys, the Patsy Kellys and others, that they would get, and the Pat Finucane, that they would get their inquiries, but that the Irish government would also make sure that other families, like Raymond McCord, would get the justice that they deserve as well in relation to these issues. And in my mind, I know we talk about legacy issues, as I said at the start, but these are murders that just have never been investigated properly, and that prosecutions have not resulted, because there is a systematic process within the British government whereby they are waiting for people who should be prosecuted to die, or people who have evidence, who would be able to assist in prosecutions, to also pass away, so that that justice will be denied to the families who are so entitled to it after all these years. Thank you, Cathaoirleach.